Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to feel sorry for this Widowmaker player, because I was doing this the entire game to this Widow. I was jumping all over the wall, I was all in her face, and I think she just literally gave up. And you can see why, because this is what it's like when you've got Lucio in your face, hyper speed, hyper healing. It's like you have to get lucky with the Helix rocket if you're Soldier to kill him. Else he'll just do this to you, ladies and gentlemen, and you cannot get rid of him. It is really frustrating to play against, but for the Lucio player, oh my god, it's a lot of fun. Now, obviously, if I had better aim, you could say I probably could kill him, but it is very difficult to hit him. He's like this mini sort of aim training game inside the game. I mean, look at him. What the hell? So the big question is, do I think he's OP? Well, it's very hard to tell. It's PTR. Everybody leaves the goddamn competitive game, so it's very difficult to finish these games with full sets of teams, which is highly annoying, almost as annoying as Lucio jumping all over your face, healing himself, dropping a sound barrier in your face, and then he actually kills me in a second, which is kind of embarrassing, but whatever, it's Lucio. He is a man of absolute means. He's a killer, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, is he OP? You can't really tell. Like, it's too early to tell that, but what I can say is this is not your old Lucio. This isn't passive AoE healing Lucio who just stays alive, whatever the cost, and speed boosts you in and uses sound barrier when we've been grabbed or something stupid like that, or Genji's used his blade, and I just use a sound barrier. He's not that anymore. He is highly engaging to play, and that is the first massive box that Blizzard have got ticked here. They've changed him from, oh my god, we need a Lucio, can somebody play the Lucio, to I really want to play this Lucio, because he's so fast when he wall rides. He gets a speed boost when he stops. That was a beautiful Helix rocket there. He gets a speed boost when he disconnects the wall ride. So as he's wall riding, when he stops, he speeds up. And this means that he can keep jumping around the walls, getting faster and faster and faster, which is utterly insane. He's got a 50% increase on his heal. So, and when he amps it up, it gets 50% again. So basically, well, the 50% applies to the amp it up as well. He's got burst healing, but he pays for this in a big way. He doesn't have the 30-meter range anymore. It's only 10 meters. Now, what that means is, if Lucio wants to heal somebody, he has to run up to them and heal them. That is a small change, you would think, but it's not really. It's actually a major change, because this means Lucio now has to run towards people to heal them, and it gives another element to Lucio's play. This is why Lucio can move faster when he wall rides, because let's be honest here, Lucio is at his safest when he's wall riding. A good Lucio will always be wall riding all over the place, so that means you can wall ride to whoever needs healing, burst heal them up, and get the hell out of there. That is what this Lucio, I think, has been designed to do, and that is great. So they have definitely ticked those boxes, and not to mention the boop. The boop, on the first video I made on the Lucio, I was a bit unsure as to what the boop changes actually meant. Well, after playing him for about 10 hours yesterday, I can tell you what the boop does is it applies the same horizontal boop vertically. So what that means is you can boot people up into the air. You can boot people all over the place, and it makes him, well, it gives Lucio more survivability, but it also just makes him, again, more fun and more involving to play. It's like I said, you're not going to be like, oh god, we need a Lucio with this Lucio. It's like, can I play the Lucio? Because it's so much fun to play him. You've got a lot of survivability. You can heal your team in a great way, but you have to stick with them. So I think it's interesting. So who the hell counters this Lucio? Well, I don't think Lucio is necessarily about being countered. It's about who can sort of do something to him to get rid of him. Like, if you look at Winston, you think, alright, Winston, he'll be able to hit the Lucio, because Lucio's wall riding around. Winston's going to be able to get him with his Tesla cannon. Yeah, he can, but Lucio can just basically out-heal himself and run away. Winston might be able to kill him, but it would take Winston about 500 years, so it would be an absolutely pointless thing to be doing. And not to mention, Lucio would just run away, so he's not going to be able to do it. So then you're probably thinking McCree. Well, okay, if McCree can land the headshots, sure, but this Lucio is very difficult to hit. Flashbang is kind of okay, but usually what happens with Flashbang, if you flashbang a Lucio as he's wall riding, he sort of carries on his motion, so he's still going to be pretty difficult to hit. Symmetra is surprisingly quite strong because of her, well, not really surprisingly, is it? She's got an auto lock on attack which locks into Lucio and will burn him down pretty quick. Mei is pretty good, and also Orisa can mess him up because she can pull him down with Hult. So if other team members can see the Hult happening, maybe they can fire into him and get rid of him. The fact remains though, this Lucio is highly durable. I mean, you can see in this clip here, their whole team is attacking me. Like, I know I'm trying to use my sound barrier and whatnot, but look at this. They are all trying to kill me. I get to sound barrier, just look at that, look what that, there was like 5 people firing at me and they still didn't kill me. Yes, I had sound barrier, whatever, but that kind of shows you what this Lucio is. He is highly obnoxious and he's got tons and tons and tons of survivability. This is now the most survivable support, way more so than Ana. It is quite ridiculous. I mean, I don't even want to think what this is going to be like on console, because Lucio players, I think they're pretty difficult to hit anyway. If this goes live, I think that'll just be impossible to hit. So good luck anybody playing on the consoles. So why the hell have Blizzard made this change, right? Well, Blizzard wanted to make him less of a pick, yeah? That's what Jeff said. We want to make him less of a pick. I'm not sure this is the right way to do that, Blizz, because what you've done here is made him way more interesting to play, and you've given him a set of tools which are no longer sort of like, can I compare it to like a sledgehammer where he just sort of was like swinging, like, that's not really a good comparison, but what I mean is that Lucio just sort of healed everybody around him. It was great, you know, that was great. If Farah was up in the sky, he was probably healing her, you know, yeah, that's awesome. Now he only heals people around him, so he's got more of a scalpel, but it's a very powerful scalpel, and if it's put into the right positions, it can cause a ton of problems. Now, I don't have an issue with a character having a high skill ceiling. This Lucio character has now got a ridiculously high skill ceiling, like a Genji, like a Tracer. Very difficult, or like an Ana, I guess. Very, very difficult heroes to play. And when played well, you're going to get a major reward. I'm just very worried that what we've got here is a Lucio that is now a mandatory pick, more so than he was, because of what he brings to the table, because he can join in the attack. He is the guy. I mean, like, this is going to show you how he's quite powerful on contesting payloads. Contesting capture points is not really that much of an issue anymore because of the changes they made to respawning, but contesting a payload, well, obviously respawns still happen at the normal rate. Look at this. I mean, granted, there's only an Orisa attacking me here, and I don't know how good that player is, but I'm just sort of running around, I'm healing myself. I've chewed up this payload for a very long time. It is highly obnoxious, and I don't know whether Blizzard want a Lucio that is crazily obnoxious to play against because people are going to get kind of frustrated, I guess. I don't know, but the fact remains he's a very, very, very fun hero to play on PTR. I don't think anybody who's played him has said he's boring or bad to play, but what I'm trying to do is look beyond that. I'm trying to look at what implications this could have on the wider game after playing him for like 10 hours or so, and granted, it's on PTR, so people leave the games, and it's only really been on Iconvold because there's only Iconvold on Hanamura, but I've just had Iconvold for literally 90% of my games, which is fine because we get to use the new choke point, which is awesome, by the way. So the idea behind this is extremely solid. What they've done is made him more fun. They've got rid of his passive AoE nature and made him faster to compensate for his lack in AoE range and give him stronger healing capability, so he has to run up to you and heal you. And I'm fine with that because that means that probably he will do less healing overall than he did before because he had such a wide arc. Now it's much smaller, it's much more focused. The thing is though, it's focused healing that could be way more effective than just this generalized passive healing, because very good Lucio players wouldn't really just sit on the heal song, right? They'd be on speed a lot of the time, and they're still going to be doing that, but now you've got this ability to just swap to heal, press E, amp it up, and well, suddenly you're back to full health. Everybody around you is massively healed. It's not like like Ana will still do more burst healing. If Ana throws a grenade into you and starts firing you, her heal is still stronger in that regard. But this Lucio, it's just a different dynamic. It's a different thing. It's AoE kind of burst healing, and it's so much fun to play. Like, what's killing me here is I like Lucio, right? And I really like these changes, but I'm just really struggling to see how they could actually put this to life in its current state. I think what needs to happen to him is we've got to look at the rate he can heal at. I think that needs to maybe be reduced slightly. I think we need to look at the speed of the wall ride. The problem is though, those two things go hand in hand, and they work together great because he's got the reduced AoE range and he needs them to be effective. So, I don't know. And of course, we all know by now that PTR is not used for balance testing. PTR is literally used to make sure there's no bugs, and a lot of this will go live. There have only been some examples of changes. I think the Mercy 50% damage boost comes to mind. That was changed on the PTR. I mean, because we all remember, Bastion went live with the insane Ironclad that he had at the time, and then they subsequently changed that. But that shows you how difficult it is for Blizzard to test on the PTR, and they have said PTR is a very hard environment to test balance on because of the nature of the players on PTR, and it is clear because people just leave the game. So a lot of what I'm saying here in this video has been after a considerable amount of PTR experience. It is not live experience, and I'm trying to almost guesstimate at what's going to happen as a result of these changes. Now, I don't want to be jumping to conclusions. There are people out there who just instantly jump to conclusions and go, oh yeah, this is OP, this is broke, this is whatever. I think this is a very strong Lucio. I think it needs to be tuned in some regard. I really like this Lucio though. I don't want to not stress that enough. This is a way better Lucio than the old Lucio. He is so much fun to play, and that is awesome. And that's what we need. The characters need to be fun to play. Then we can start balancing them. So I'm happy with this, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Have you been playing this Lucio on PTR? If you haven't, please go and play him. And if you don't get the Lucio, just play the game anyway, because you're still going to get to see him against you, you're still going to get to see him on your team, and also you're going to get to see Orisa as well, because those heroes will be in every single game because people are trying to test them. So it is still early days for this Lucio, but I'm very happy, I'm very impressed, but I do think it kind of does need something else. Alright guys, I'm Stylosa, this is Unit Loss. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLossGaming, and I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.